Hello students. In our previous video, we have seen that it is the legal duty of banker to honor the check of the customer. So in fact, it is a duty which is given to every banker as per the provisions of Negotiable Instruments Act. It is a legal duty or statutory duty of a banker to honor the check of the customer. But there are certain conditions, and if those conditions are fulfilled, then only it is the duty of the banker to honor the customer's check. There are certain situations in which the banker can dishonor customer's check and he will not be liable for dishonoring customer's check. Now, which are the situations? Which are the reasons for which the banker can dishonor customer's check? The first is insufficient funds. If the funds in the bankers if the funds in the customer's account are not sufficient to honor that check, in that case the banker can dishonor that customer's check. Stale check. Stale check means what? There is a reasonable time within which the check should be presented for in the bank. But the customer has presented the check after the expiry of that reasonable time. Reasonable time, that is 3 months. The check is issued, the date mentioned on the check is before 3 months, and after the 3 months the check has been presented in the bank. The banker need not to honor that check. Post-dated check presented for payment before due date. Before the due date, the date which is mentioned on the check, before that date when the check is presented by the customer, banker cannot honor that check. Banker can dishonor that check. On receipt of garnish order, when the banker receives the garnish order from the court to freeze the account of a particular customer, or in that case, the banker need not to honor the customer's death or insanity of the customer. So immediately after the death or insanity of the customer, the checks which are issued on this account, on that account, it should be immediately stopped. Once the banker comes to know that such a customer has died, in that case banker has to stop the transactions from that account immediately. Defective title of the party. So the name which is mentioned on the check, that title itself is defective. In that case, banker can dishonor customer's check. Insolvency of customer. Customer becomes insolvent. Immediately the transactions have to be stopped. Material alteration. Some changes have been made in the check which are material, which are important changes are made in the check, and those material alterations are not signed by the drawer of the check. In that case, banker may dishonor customer's check. Where the check is mutilated, where the check is torn, where the check is made into two pieces of the check have been made. In that case, the banker need not to honor such a check which is mutilated, which is torn into two pieces. And breach of trust. So the relationship of banker and customer, it is a relationship of trust, mutual faith, understanding and confidence. If customer has done something which may lead to breach, means breaking of the trust in between them has been broken, in that case the customer has done certain act which leads to breach of trust. In that case, the banker may refuse to honor the check of the customer. So these dishonor of customer check, these points or this topic is asked for 5 marks. So 5 marks, if you write 10 points and one line explanation also, that is sufficient for 5 marks. We are not going to discuss all these points in detail. So for 5 marks, writing 10 points is also sufficient. Now, wrongful dishonor of customer's check. We have seen that dishonor of customer's check when it is correct on the part of the banker to dishonor of the customer's check. But when it is said that when the banker has wrongfully dishonored the customer's check. So dishonor of customer's check by banker without proper reason. If the banker has proper reason to dishonor customer's check, and if he dishonors, that is correct on his part. But without giving any proper reason, the banker dishonors customer's check, that is known as wrongful dishonor of customer's check. It means the check is correct in all aspects and all respects, but the banker dishonors such check, that is called as wrongful dishonor of customer's check. Check is correct, date, signature, it is not mutilated, there is sufficient funds are available in the account, everything is correct. In spite of that, banker dishonors such check, that is wrongful dishonor of customer's check. When banker wrongfully dishonors customer's check, it is called as a breach of contract. So this relationship comes into existence by way of a contract between these two parties, banker and customer. If banker wrongfully dishonors customer's check, it is breaking of the terms of the contract, and banker is liable to pay compensation for it to the customer. So then banker has to pay compensation for wrongfully dishonoring customer's check. Compensation payable by the banker to his customer is of three types. Which are the three types of compensation which can be paid by the banker for wrongfully dishonoring customer's check? First is general damages. General damages are payable by the banker to his customer for breach of contract. Inconvenience may be caused to the customer. There will be a loss of reputation and goodwill due to wrongful dishonor of the check, and for that purpose banker has to pay general damages to the customer. Compensation or monetary compensation which has to be paid by the banker to the customer, it may be similar or it may be more than or less than the amount of the check. That is, general damages should be paid by the banker to the customer for breach of contract, inconvenience, loss of reputation and goodwill for wrongful dishonor of the check. Second type of damages, special damages. Special damages means it is the compensation which is paid by the banker to his customer for the financial loss which the customer has suffered because of wrongful dishonor of the check. So now what is special damages? Say for example, the customer has given a check for supply of goods, but the check is wrongfully dishonored by the banker. In that case, the customer does not get the goods for which he has ordered, and he suffers a financial loss. So that financial loss will be calculated, and that much amount has to be paid by the banker to the customer. General damages. So general damages are payable by the banker to the customer for breach of contract, inconvenience, loss of reputation, loss of goodwill, etc. Compensation may be more or less than the amount of check which is mentioned in the check. Special damages, that is compensation paid by the banker to the customer for the loss which has suffered by the customer. Loss will be calculated. Customer has given a check to the supplier of the goods, check is wrongfully dishonored, supplier does not send the goods to customer, customer suffers a loss. That monetary loss, financial loss is calculated, and banker has to pay that much amount to the customer. Third point, damages for defamatory statement. Defamation means saying something about another person which may lead to misunderstanding about that person, about that reputation of that person, or something which is said which is not true, which is false statement, making a false statement about a person, and because of that false statement the image or reputation of that person gets affected. That is called as defamatory statement. If reasons given by the banker for dishonoring customer's check are wrong, if banker dishonors the customer's check, and for that banker has to give reasons, the reasons which are given by the bank are wrong and defamatory, or these reasons are humiliating to the customer, in that case customer can claim compensation even without proving the actual damages. Even he has not suffered any monetary loss or he has not suffered any damages, even then he can claim compensation from the banker because of wrong statement, defamatory statement which is humiliating to the customer, which is made by the banker at the time of dishonoring the customer's check. The main second point, we are going to discuss about the main second point. So first main point which we have discussed is obligation to honor the check of the customer. Second point, obligation to maintain secrecy of customer's account. So it is the duty of the banker to maintain secrecy of account information. So banker, it is a relationship between the banker and customer, it is a relationship of trust and confidence. It is a relationship of confidential or private nature, private character. Therefore, banker has to maintain secrecy about the account information of the customer. No doubt, banker has to, it is the duty of the banker to maintain the secrecy of customer's account, but this duty is not absolute, but it is conditional. That means, under certain situations, certain circumstances, banker can disclose customer's account information and he will not be held for that, held guilty for that. Now, which are the situations when the banker can disclose customer's account information? When there is expressed or implied consent of the customer. Banker has taken the consent of the customer to disclose or to give the information to another person. In that case, banker can disclose customer's account information. Disclosure is made under compulsion of law. As per the provisions of certain laws, if it is compulsory for the banker to disclose the account information of the customer, banker can do so. Under which laws disclosure can be made compulsory? Under Income Tax Act, Companies Act, Reserve Bank of India Act, or disclosure is made to police, or the disclosure under Banking Regulation Act. So under this situation, if the information is required by the concerned authorities, the banker may provide the information and he will not be at fault by providing the information under the compulsion of law. Third point, disclosure in public interest. So when the customer is dealing against the interest of the country, against the interest of the nation, during the time of war with another country. So the customer has connection with enemy country at the time of the war. At that time, it is the duty of the banker to disclose the customer's account information. So when the customer is dealing against the interest of the country during the war and he has connection with another country, enemy country, at that time the banker has to disclose the customer's account information. Fourth point, where the banker can disclose the account information, where it is in the banker's own interest. Disclosure is in the banker's own interest. Banker can disclose the information of customer's account to outsiders for the protection of his own interest. So say for example, bank files a suit. Suit means a case in the court of law. So bank files a case in the court of law to recover loan against the customer. Customer has taken the loan from the bank. Customer is not repaying that loan. Banker has to file a case in the court of law. At that time, bank can disclose the information of customer's account to its lawyer. Such a disclosure is without any fault and banker has a right to disclose such information about customer's account. Fifth point, where credit information is required by other banks. So when the credit information is required or asked by other banks, at that time the banker can make a disclosure about the customer's account. Whenever banker is giving the information about the customer's account, banker has to take certain precautions. What precautions? The first is information should be given honestly as it is. Then it is confidentially. It has to be given to that party only by whom it is asked. It should be given in general statement and not in figures, but by putting the words without responsibility. So while giving information, banker should use the words without responsibility. Means banker is not going to take any responsibility of this information. It should be a general statement, honestly, confidentially given in figures and given in general statement and not in figures. Then information should not be given on phone. Information should be given in written format. It should be given in closed cover, closed envelope. Preferably it should be sealed envelope banker should use for giving such information. Thank you.